Hi, everybody. This is Romel Taylor here with Claudia Castillo in Denver. Hey, Claudia, how you doing?
Hi, Ramel.
So this is our first collaboration video to introduce ourselves and to talk about our specific markets and why it'd be great to work with us in those particular markets. Claudia and I are part of a coaching team, and that's how we met. And we connected and hit it off. And I'm excited to be here to talk to you and introduce Claudia to you. She is someone that I am hoping to work with in the very near future as a referral partner, and probably likewise with you, Claudia. And that's what we're here to do today is to introduce ourselves and to talk about our markets and let you get to know us. So, Claudia, how are you doing today?
Good, good. Hey, Ramel, thanks for the invitation to come on and collaborate together and yeah, get to know what the markets are doing differently in our areas. A little bit about me. I grew up in northeastern Colorado, so just about an hour northeast of Denver, and been in the real estate game a little, just about the 6 month mark with a real estate license. And then my previous career was a mortgage lender. So I did that for 6 years as well. So straight out of college, it's been the mortgages and houses have been surrounding me.
Wow, so you actually have some experience on the money side, which is a great skill to have.
Yeah, it was good. It was yeah, about 6 years total is what I think I did the math, about 6 years total on the
Awesome.
mortgages. So it's kind of that double-edged sword. And I'm like, oh nope, stay in my lane. Here, let the lender do their thing, and then just make sure that the client's asking the right questions. Like if they're coming to me with the question, I'm
Mhm.
like, I'll direct them back to the lender and just be like, here's more specifically what you need to ask for. So that's been good, just empowering the people.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's definitely something that sets you apart from other realtors. We have sort of a similar kind of situation. I'm trained as an architect, but new to real estate. So I'm not necessarily new to land and building, but from a real estate perspective, I'm recently licensed as actually it'll be a year next month. The time has flown
Congratulations.
by.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been pretty exciting. So yeah, my architecture background gives me a certain perspective, and I would say even a leg up on helping my clients kind of evaluate properties and even visualize possibilities with properties. But like you, I also have to stay in my lane, when have my real estate hat on,
Yeah.
and be able to advise them without directing them and leveraging all my professional contacts in the architecture and design profession to help them succeed on anything they're trying to do. That's really cool.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, because
So
you can walk in and see the vision and be like, yeah, like I like the vision, and just having them ask questions, right, as they keep going throughout the
exactly.
process.
And have a discussion. So a lot of clients get nervous. They come in, they see things with the property and they may assume that it's just insurmountable and walk away from what can be a really great deal for them.
Hmm.
So I can kind of help give some context on that with my architecture background.
Yeah. No, that's perfect,
So
Romel.
I grew up in the Bay Area. I'm actually from Texas, but I grew up in the Bay Area. So I'm very familiar with the San Francisco and East Bay and North Bay markets. So it's really exciting to be in that space, being able to help clients look for homes, sell their homes, and even invest. So it's
No,
good to have
that's
that local knowledge. It sounds like you know your area because you grew up there.
yeah, close by. Yeah. No, and you're right. It's just that local knowledge, and you people are like, hey, where can I go eat? And so you start talking like more than just the area that they're looking in. Like, hey, check out this
Hmm.
restaurant, or go out here and check out this market type of thing.
And then you know also kind of the particulars of that market as well.
Hmm.
Neighborhoods, amenities, schools. You're already familiar with that, so that helps you advise your client even more.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Yeah, and I bet you're a lot like me. Like, there's like, this is like where the hospitals are at. Here's a tech hub. Here's we're gonna see more of these types of businesses and that piece of it.
Here's freeways. Here are the schools. Here's the local grocery. So
Yeah.
yeah, that it's important to have that. I think that's one of the advantages of working with a professional is that we're experts either because we grew up there, because we've studied and we understand and we know the neighborhoods. So
Hmm.
to advise our clients and give them just give them information to help them make a more informed decision.
Yeah, that's correct. What's nearby, what's going to happen, what's development look like in the future in the
Mm-hmm.
area.
Sounds good. So we kind of have a little bit of a script, so let's jump into some of the topics we have for today. And by the way, for all of you watching, that this is just the first in a series of collaborations that Claudia and I are going to do. So stay tuned and subscribe to our YouTube channels. Um, Smash that button to subscribe, and we'll also be giving you our contact information toward the end of the video. So, Claudia, what are the top 3 reasons to live in the Denver area?
Denver's great. Not to be biased, but I'm biased. No, Denver is honestly like what's the heart of Colorado. I would say you have a quick 30-minute drive into the mountains. You could go on walking trails. We have the mountains. You could go to a lake. And within Colorado, even just of a couple hours radius, if you wanted to drive, like you're connected with nature and you can kind of just go away from the city even within a half hour, just to kind of be like, hey, I need a breath of fresh air. Literally, the mountains are just right there. I jokingly always say, like, wherever you're at on the side of Colorado, if you're on the Denver side, if you ever get lost, look at the west side. And if you see the mountains, that's your west side. So that's my one thing I always say that way. Yeah. Whenever you come out to Colorado, be like, that's the west side. I'll show you the mountains on that side of things. The other thing, it's just we have a strong economy here in Colorado, Denver metro area. Google just came out, IBM, Oracle, Amazon set up a couple of distribution centers recently, and we just continue growing. I feel like our market's just there for the people. There's job opportunities. You'll find a lot of entrepreneurs. I feel like there's a lot of niches that you can get into in the area. And we're pretty much like almost that middle of the US, almost, I would say, where it's a quick, easy to get on a plane and go pretty much anywhere. It would just be in an international airport. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of people will stop here on their way to, is it Chicago, depending on where they're going. So I feel like we're pretty centrally located. So I would say those are the top reasons.
Denver.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I had to stop in Denver on my way to Dallas when we went to Summit. That was one of the stops.
That was one of the stops. Yeah, we're right here on there. So I would say those are the big things in Denver. You're going to find a lot of recreation. Mm-hmm. You're going to find a lot of like art. You're going to find a lot of. I feel like there's a lot of what you're looking for. You can find it in the area. Sports are coming. Like Broncos are here. Rockies are here. The Avs. We want to talk about the recent loss with the Broncos. And then like just the cities within the Denver metro area. Boulder's a short drive away. And if you've been following like the college football piece, like Deion Sanders is coming in hot up in Boulder.
Definitely. So yes.
And it's been great to see.
Sorry to cut you off on that.
No, you're
point.
good.
He made people realize that Denver is a place, and mm-hmm. Boulder is a city. There's a place to go. It's interesting how that works. That's awesome. As I'm listening to you talk, there's so many similarities with the Bay Area, actually, in terms of convenience to lots of amenities. We're pretty centrally located. If you come to San Francisco, we call it the San Francisco Bay Area because it's not just San Francisco is an iconic city that everyone knows about, but there's so many beautiful cities right around the Bay that these cities are surrounded by. So you have the North Bay, which is wine country. You have the East Bay, which is also a lot of tech and outdoor recreational activities. The South Bay towards Silicon Valley. You have a whole nother environment, but it's similar also that very close. You have mountains, you have parkland, you have the ocean, which is mm-hmm. as far west as you can go in California. If you see the ocean,
that's my west.
You've gone too fast. You've gone too far. Yeah, you need your boat at this point.
Yeah.
So it's very similar in that sense, and likewise, we have a lot of cultural activities. San Francisco boasts some of the top museums in the world, some of the top eateries, not just the Michelin star, but the hole in the wall mom and pop talk to the local spots that are,
Mm-hmm.
if you want great food, um, there's an endless amount of options for that. We also have a pretty strong economy as well. This is still the hub for tech innovation and entrepreneurs. Um, it's a great place to live in terms of lifestyle and having a nice work life balance. And things are very close. I mean, San Francisco itself is only 7 miles by 7 miles. I mean, you
Oh,
can literally
really?
walk from end to end, north, south, east, or west, all of
Oh,
San Francisco.
okay.
You can make a
Yeah.
day of it. Just walk from the ocean all the way to the East Bay or to the eastern edge, which would be the San Francisco Bay, and you can go north and south. Literally 7 miles. That's a great way to get your steps in
Yeah.
and get your workout on. Um, what else? I would say there's so many great things about the Bay, other than just the tourist attractions. It's a really beautiful place. We have really mild weather. So it's never too hot, never too cold. There's always a slight layer of fog in San Francisco, particularly, which people are surprised. They come during the summertime just like they're in Southern California,
Yeah.
expecting super hot beaches and getting tan, but it's a little chilly all year round. You need a jacket. But if you head east to the East Bay, it's 10 degrees warmer almost all the time. So you just have a lot of variety in terms of weather. It's never too hot or too cold. It's very
Yeah.
mild. A lot of people talk about that as something they really like.
No, that's perfect. That reminds me here in Colorado, sometimes we get a lot of sunshine. Yet come the fall time, you have fall weather in the morning, you have spring
Hmm.
around noon, and then it is full on hot summer come 84, 90 degrees in the afternoon. You're like, what just happened? I didn't dress
Wow.
appropriately for the weather.
So it's
So
very
it's
seasonal in Denver.
mhm.
You get your full 4 seasons. Like you can
We get our
actually
full four
tell.
seasons.
That's
Yeah.
nice. That's what I would say. I wouldn't call it a disadvantage, but some people, if they relocate from other parts of the country where there's a very clear distinction of seasons, the
Yeah.
Bay Area throws them a little bit because everything kind of melds together in this mild environment. Like you don't really have the
Ah,
massive changes of color. You don't have the dramatic weather shifts, but that's also an advantage because people kind of like that it's very mild
mhm.
versus extremes of cold and hot.
Yeah. No, that's definitely it.
So let's pivot to the market. How's the market in the Denver area?
Yeah, so right now coming into the fall time, we're definitely softening up. We've just noticed inventory sitting a little bit longer. Just the seasonality, right, of what we see
Mhm.
typically in a real estate market is we'll start in the spring, it'll end in the fall, and we're definitely right now in that fall market. Actually, days on market, like median days on market for us is about 14 days right now. And then we're right at that point, about 2 months worth of inventory to be that perfect buyer seller market shift. I think I was looking at a report earlier. We would need about 20,000 more listings in the Denver metro area to make it that true balanced of a buyer and a seller market on there. So we need about 6 months worth of inventory. And right now, I think we're in a spot where, yeah, you have that softening. You're able to negotiate a little bit more if you're on the buy side, negotiate a little bit more on that. Like, here's what I'm looking for. Here's the help that I need.
Mhm.
And a
Mhm.
lot of that, I mean, you can get into a great area just if you're willing to go out a little bit north, or if you want to stay in central Denver market, you can find what you're looking for. There's I would say there's some markets that you can go ahead and day 2, 3 on the market, they're gone, just depending on their pricing. And then there's others that are lingering a little bit longer, just based on price points.
How many? Uh, this may be a hard question to answer.
Yeah.
In Denver, are there a lot of distinctive areas so that it's, um, you know what I mean? Is there some distinction between specific areas in your market, or is
Yeah,
between downtown Denver, for example, and sort of the outlying areas?
there is. You could really tell, there's Barnum here, here's central Denver. You go up to the Highlands and you're looking at a duplex for half a duplex for over 1 million. And down in Barnum, you're looking at homes in the 350, 400 range, which are typically
Oh
a two
wow,
bedroom,
that's.
one bath. Yeah. So, and
Mhm.
it's just along that same street on Federal. And then kind of like if you're looking for a bigger bang, better bang for your buck, you're going out northeast, eastern Denver metro area on there.
Okay.
But definitely, yeah, you're right. Like you can tell the
Hmm.
distinctions, and this this specific neighborhood is doing this other one is doing this, and you can just kind of see those shifts. We have
Hmm.
one of the longest roads. It's Colfax Avenue. I think on record is what we have. And so Colfax, if you go from west to east, you will see like all in between, right? Because it goes right through
Hmm.
Denver, downtown Denver. So you see the west side, and then it goes all the way to the east side. And it's interesting to see all the changes throughout that one street. And you can see crossing this street, it's a dramatic change
Is there
in
a
neighborhoods.
suburban neighborhood in Denver? Does Denver have suburbs, or is it just kind of adjacent neighborhoods like what you just driving down Fox? Is it Fox Street or Fox Avenue? Where
Colfax,
you
yeah.
or Colfax, where you go through different neighborhoods versus actually going out into the suburbs? Do
You're
you
in the
actually have
suburbs.
suburbs? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you are. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We have a lot of
Okay.
suburbs. There's Lakewood, Littleton. You have Aurora that I was telling you about, that one of the quickest growing cities in the U.S. And then there's like Brighton. We all connect. If you look at a map of Denver, what's Denver County proper, city and county proper, and then you take a look at what we call essentially the Denver metro area, there's 7 counties within it. And for the most part, you go up north a little bit and there's more open road, a little bit more of like free land per se. And if you're down in the south area, there's more population. So you're literally cross the street and you could be in another county, another
Oh,
suburb
wow.
right away.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Denver Metro. When I think Denver Metro, here's what I'm thinking. So let me make this a little bit bigger here. So if you see that red outline on there, this is essentially the city and county of Denver. And so Denver Airport is here. So that's where you landed. And so all of this Pena, Green Valley Ranch, these are all suburb or neighborhoods within the city and county of Denver. And so
Okay.
all of this is Denver. The outlying, I'm going to scroll out a little bit more. You have Aurora that I was telling you about, where the growth is going east. You get a lot of new builds in this area, down Parker, all down this way, you could say, down a Castle Rock. All of this, all around this circle that you see on there is
Oh,
about the
yeah.
Denver metro area. And
Okay.
even out here where you see this name of like Brighton Lockbuoy, this more starts to be, the circle around here is called C470 or E470, depending on what side you're on. And when you look at Denver, that's kind of that map that you see. And so that's where I was telling you, like all the
Got
little
it.
suburbs, like everything just kind of connects. Aurora, Lakewood, Wheat
Yeah.
Ridge, all of this. You have older homes here. Mountains are a lot closer in this area. And then
Whoa.
the state's
So
pretty
that's
big.
west, where the big green is. That's all west.
That's all your
Okay.
mountains. So that's how you know you're on the west side. And then Colorado Springs south is about an hour from Fort Collins. Boulder, as you see here, right there, pretty quick, pretty close
Hmm.
by. And then
Well,
Fort
what is that in
Collins,
driving distance about? So for our viewers who
yeah,
aren't
definitely.
super geographically
Yeah.
proficient,
No, definitely. This is
like
about
like me.
from, you're like, where are you at, Claudia?
Yeah.
From
Yes.
Denver to Boulder, you're looking about maybe 40, 45 minutes, depending on where you're at in the city. I know I live
Oh,
in this
wow.
little, yeah, so not,
That's
and
very
so I live,
close.
yeah,
I thought it was hours. So Denver to
hours,
Boulder is only
probably about
45
45.
minutes
hmm I live
with
in
traffic
this,
or not?
no traffic.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
traffic,
about
you're
an
probably
hour
sitting at an hour.
drive.
hmm
Okay.
Depending on this Highway
That's
36 here. Yeah.
that's still very close. I
Yeah. It
am
feels
learning
good.
a
And
lot
then,
today.
yeah, the scenery, Romel, like honestly, anytime, even for me driving into the office today, you can see where my office is at. I drive in, so I live here in Brighton, and I drive
Okay. Got
into
it.
to this little town here in Firestone, and just driving this way, the mountain views are something else. And
Wow.
so it's beautiful. But I essentially, when you think of Denver, think about this whole big circle.
Got it.
And then yeah, we've gone east where all of these areas have grown a little bit more. But yeah, There's a lot to do, quick access to a lot of things, get into Keystone, Breckenridge, out these areas, Vale, to get some skiing in. So there's a
Oh,
lot.
that's Vale. I was
Uh
wondering
huh.
exactly where that was, but and Aspen. Okay.
And Aspen down here. Yep. So
And what's
there's a
the
lot
driving
to do.
distance between downtown Denver, Metro Denver area, and Aspen and Vale, for example?
I want to say
Couple
Breckenridge
hours?
is like an hour ish, probably looking at, let's say Vale here. Hour and a half? Yeah, hour 40 minutes into Vale.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
So it's great. That's where I think I was like, you have the best of everything. Granby Lake, up this way, gorgeous lake to be in. My sister went recently. She goes, you need to go. And so there's a lot of attractions, and there's a lot to do in
This
this
is
little,
great.
yeah, in our area. And
Your
just everything's with a driving distance.
your skiing is much closer than our skiing if you live in the Bay Area, because we have to go closer to Tahoe area.
Oh,
So I'm going to
okay.
share my screen, and since you did that so well, I'm going to try to do this as well as you did. So let's see here.
Yeah, no, it'd be awesome to see, because I've only gone to San Francisco once. We did a quick 24-hour flight, flew out there on a Saturday night, came back on a Sunday night. Of course, Pier 39 and Quake
Yes,
Tower, and did that piece of it. And
yes.
so I guess we didn't realize how we stayed in that little radius, so we didn't realize how big, or how, yeah, or the 7 miles worth of it.
So are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So San Francisco, that 7 miles goes from this tip, which is the entrance to the bay. This is the Golden Gate Bridge, famous
Okay.
Golden Gate Bridge, to about right where it says Daly City is roughly the border of San Francisco.
Hmm.
So that's about it's almost a square. So it's seven
Oh,
miles by
okay.
7 miles with some scraggly along the western edge, which is the Pacific Ocean, and then along the eastern edge, there's still quite a bit of industry, shipping industry, coastal coastal attractions. The Navy used to be here in Alameda, but they pulled out quite some time ago. But yeah, you can
Oh,
see the
okay.
Bay Area is essentially, you come through the Pacific Ocean. This is the edge of the Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Come through the Golden Gates into the San Francisco Bay, which goes up north to San Pablo Bay. And down south, we still consider that pretty much the San Francisco Bay. It's technically not, but San Francisco claims it anyway. So
It's
when
still
you,
theirs.
it's still theirs, yes.
Yeah.
So whenever you hear someone say SF Bay Area, it includes basically San Francisco, Oakland, right across the Bay Bridge, which is Highway 80, all
Oh,
the way
okay.
down to where the bay actually hits land, which is essentially San Jose. So from San
Oh,
Francisco to
okay.
San Jose, with traffic, it's about an hour and 45,
Oh,
sometimes 2 hours of traffic, whether you're coming down the western side or coming down the eastern side from the East Bay. You can get to San Jose. It all merges in the middle.
is that more
Um,
due to traffic than necessarily like the distance, or just the
Definitely due to
distance?
traffic and congestion. So
Oh,
you,
okay.
you have tons of residential and a lot of cities along Highway 101 or
Yeah.
280. Those run north to south. Or on the East Bay side, you have 880 or 580, and those run through a variety of cities. And pretty much my
Okay.
service area includes Oakland, San Leandro, Castro Valley. I'll go as far as Fremont. I'm not as familiar with the Fremont area. Um,
Yeah.
my expertise more or less stops around Hayward, but
Yeah.
it's easy to get up to speed on all of those areas.
Hmm.
And likewise on the western side, I work up to San Mateo to San Francisco.
You almost have all of that Bay Area covered there.
Almost, yeah. And
Almost. You're
north
just about there.
up
Yeah.
to, yes, I have a car, so I can drive anywhere.
Yeah. Easy to get
And we
anywhere.
have very easy to get anywhere in the Bay Area. And, that once you cross this Highway 680, that's kind of far East Bay. You're kind of getting into some different counties and cities, totally different market conditions once you get uh, basically through the mountains here. So this is a huge mountain range. And I want to say it's Mount Diablo. My geography
Okay.
is not nearly as tight as yours. I'm going to be prepared next time with that. But this mountain range basically separates the bay from the rest of this western and eastern part of California. So the
Oh,
one reason we
okay.
get very mild weather is because one, the body of water, but
Hmm.
we have two mountain ranges on both sides of the bay. This huge Santa Cruz Mountains, and then Mount Diablo. And there's another, I forget what the smaller one is called off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And we're kind of tucked in between and protected from severe weather and the major climate shifts during the seasons. But
No,
right
and just
across the
the
Golden
views, I
Gate,
can imagine.
oh, the drives, they're really nice. I mean, the
Yeah.
east side is well, there's a nice drive on the west side too if you take Highway 280. I
Yeah.
have my favorites. 280 takes you through the mountain ranges, so you get to actually see some really beautiful scenery as you're driving south. And then North Bay, this is where we get into Sausalito, Mill Valley,
Hmm.
Point Reyes National Park, which is really beautiful. Mount Tamalpais, great mountain biking and hiking for those mountain biking enthusiasts. And a hop, skip, and a jump, you get into Santa Rosa County, which has that's wine country. That's a
Oh,
whole
that's wine
separate.
country. Okay.
Yeah, we'd have to that'd be a separate show to talk about
Yeah.
that specific amenity. Um, but it's a hop, skip, and a jump from San Francisco. So
Okay. I always
weekend
figured it
trip.
more further north. I don't know why. Like, yeah, geographically in my mind, country wasn't so close to San Francisco. I think it was just a
Yeah.
me thing.
It,
Yeah.
well, it's the way I was thinking about Aspen and Vail. I figured that's like really far from Denver. Like you have
Yeah.
to. So our
Yeah. We're right
closest
up there.
scheme to pull out a little bit is
You said
Tahoe.
closer to Tahoe. Oh, okay. So you guys
So
have a
that's
drive to get there.
a little bit of a drive. That's a little bit of a
Hmm.
drive. It's not a day trip. Although some people do. The hardcore skiers will leave early in the morning, drive up to Tahoe, come back in a
Yeah.
couple of days. But yeah. All right. Where so we I like
We
this. It's
did.
just conversational. We've gone over a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
Quick market update on the Bay Area. You did an excellent job explaining the conditions in Denver, and ours are actually very similar as well. And this might be the condition in most markets. In the fall season, generally things slow down.
Hmm.
And in the specific cases, interest rates are still keeping some people on the fence, even though the ironic thing is the high interest rates are actually because it's keeping some people out of the market or keep giving people pause to jump in. That means there's a little less buyer competition for the properties that are available.
I
It's a
agree.
hard, I
Hmm.
think, psychological thing for a lot of buyers to wrap around. They're like, nope, high interest rates. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Well, if you can afford to buy, if you're already prepared to buy, you have your financing in place, you know what your monthly affordability is, then let's go shopping because there's less people looking for that very reason. So you won't have the massive bidding wars, the overpricing, the pushing the prices of the homes up. Right now, prices are very stable. Um, you see in certain neighborhoods, you may see some price reductions. San Francisco County specific. Oh, by the way, San
Hmm.
Francisco is also it's a city and county.
Okay. So
Um,
similar to Denver,
oh,
Denver
is Denver
proper.
city and county?
Yeah.
Wow,
Denver's got city and county, that little red outline. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
we're like sister cities or brother
yeah,
cities. We're related. We're cousins.
you're just on the water. I'm on the mountains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
San Francisco has always been pretty stable, even in 2008, where the rest of the country was really just being hit hard. There were some price drops in San Francisco, but for the most part, it's super resilient. Around
Yeah.
the edges, though, you saw massive change. Um, but just to stay current, I mean, we are seeing prices pretty stable. Average days on market floating around 28 to 30 days. The median price in the Bay Area is pretty high overall. In San Francisco County, you're still looking at median prices around the 1.2, $1.3 million range.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
that's pretty consistent down the peninsula. So as you go from San Francisco south towards San Jose, you can expect those same average prices. The East Bay is still one of the more affordable urban locations for the Bay Area. Um, Prices, depending on the city, are in the 800 to high nines. And in certain pockets, you can find some really affordable places. They may need a little bit of work, but you also can find some move-in ready properties in the sixes and sevens. Those are the gems. Those are the ones that are a little bit harder to find, but they are still
Yeah.
out there, particularly in Oakland, San Leandro, Hayward area. Piedmont is kind of a so much to talk about. Piedmont is kind of a special area of Oakland. I still call it Oakland because it really is, but it's
It
become its
really is okay. Yeah.
own little enclave with its own name and own zip code and own city kind of agencies. And it is a different vibe. The homes in there are very comparable in price to San Francisco. So you're looking
Oh,
in the
okay.
1.2 to 1.3 million and up. But
Yeah.
Albany, Berkeley's actually still pretty expensive. Albany, El Cerrito, Richmond, you can find some pretty decent deals. Once you get to the mountains and start going really far east out to Antioch, Brentwood, you're pretty much in the suburbs now. I mean, this is
Yeah.
what we really call the suburbs. So it's far from like urban centers, not very close to airports. Um, and you can find some affordability. A lot more new builds out that direction. In the Bay Area, we're short on land,
Hmm.
so we don't have a lot of massive new developments, at least not for single family homes. A lot of multifamily development, but not so much for single family homes. Um, but overall, yeah, I mean, the winter season is actually a good time to shop if you're already ready to shop. If you know your monthly budget, you have your pre-approvals, you're ready to go. It's actually a good time to shop because less people are shopping.
Yeah.
Our
I
inventory is
agree.
very low too. Like we're still in a pretty severe inventory shortage. Not very many people putting their homes on the market, um, sitting on either great interest rates if they bought within the last 5 years or so.
Hmm.
Or there are people who are just sitting on a lot of equity and haven't made the decision on what they want to do with their homes. Do you guys have a lot of uh, movement within the baby boomer generation? That's been a topic at some of our our meeting or brokerage meetings about baby boomers looking to downsize and maybe redeploy their equity into some other investments and buy something smaller. Is that a discussion happening in Denver?
I feel like I haven't seen it as much. I'm feeling like they're holding on more where that price point was of where the equity that they have. There's a few I think that you'll see if they were in a two-story that they are downsizing.
Okay.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I feel like right now it's our millennials, like that millennial segment getting into buying their first home, like starting their equity now. And we're seeing it more of like as a share, right? And there's a couple of friends or a couple of cousins, just kind of more of that movement
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what we've seen a little bit more. And a lot of my clientele has been in the first time home buyer and they're in their 40s, just starting that piece of it. And it's
Mm-hmm.
also been the late 20s, early 30s getting into that first home or their second home. So it's been a little bit more of that.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Like the millennials are in the area seem to be disappearing in terms of the home buying.
Yeah. Maybe they're coming
And
to
when
Colorado.
maybe they are coming to Colorado, which is great to have a referral partner can send
Yeah.
it to you. Um, but I've also been seeing that uh, happening a lot too, where the younger generation that is looking to buy, they're looking more as an investment. So house
Hmm.
hacking with another person, looking at multifamily versus just a single family home. They're not, it doesn't seem that they're keen on just that stability of having a home with
Hmm.
family and that kind of image. It's more real estate as an investment, which is a great thing to think about. I mean, real estate
Yeah.
is a great investment. No matter how you end up engaging in that process.
And they always say, right, like the right time to buy is now. And then just let the market do what it's going to do. It's ebbs and flows, and similar to the stock market, right? You hold now and you're holding long term. And
Mhm.
where's the return on
Mhm.
your asset, on your investment going at that point?
Absolutely. Before I got into real estate, I didn't believe it when realtors would say that term. The best time to buy is right now. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's just a sales pitch, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
It really boils down to your individual ability to afford a property. And if you have that worked out and you know what your budget is, you know what your comfortable monthly payment is, go for it because
Hmm.
time is your best friend. As you
Yeah.
just said, you need that time to let the property grow in value, which it will. I mean, it's proven historically over the long term, real estate is always going up in value. There'll be
You know
dips
what?
like with any investment, but
Yeah.
over the long term, it's going up.
You know what? Like, as we're in this conversation, a recent like visual came to mind. I was sitting there one day and I was like, you know what? Like, I have my mortgage payment. And then I started thinking, actually, this is my savings account. If you start the way that you're viewing it, like, I
Yes.
remember my first little townhome that I bought it like 2014. At that point, it was like 89,000. 3 years later, went up to 176, I think, at the time that I sold. And I was like, it's not a payment, it's an investment. And I think that I was just sitting
100%.
there one day and I was like, here's my savings account. Like, I am in my savings account right now. So
Absolutely. And you're
yeah.
making a little bit more than if you had your money in the bank,
Yeah, I agree.
like a lot more.
A lot more than what the bank's paying me right now. Yeah. And it's great because you walk in and it's just like you don't know what the neighbors are going to sell down the street for. And I mean, I bought at a very affordable price. I have a little 2 bedroom, 1 bath, and I bought at 325 down the street. A property just sold at 390, and I'm like, oh, I'm remodeled. Like, let's go. And it's just like, what are you doing now with your equity
Mhm.
and just what it could happen? So it's just like, yeah, the right time is now. And I was hesitant. And I was like, okay, no, this is the right home for me right now.
I feel like that might be another show for us.
Yeah,
Talk about what are some strategies on how to use your equity once it's built up.
I agree.
We're brainstorming right here live. It's a work in progress, so you're gonna get to see some of the development and improvements in our videos.
Our
And
collaborations are
you
going
get
to
to
be
walk
epic. Yeah.
absolutely, and you get to walk along with us and get some value and learn some things about the business. And you have two new contacts.
Yeah.
Before we end, um, last question: why should someone work with you, Claudia?
We're going to be friends. That's number one. No,
Mhm.
for me, it's always about the feel, the knowledge of like empowering you, making you know you're comfortable in the decisions that you're making. We're always going to do what's right, no matter what. It's going to be a win-win situation for you and that buyer, that seller, depending on what you're doing on
Mhm.
there. Bilingual, so that helps on there just to connect those dots a little
Mhm.
bit more. And part of just like, and Romel and I being part of this coaching group, we're not just in California and in Colorado exclusively, right? We have this network of agents that we work with that are top agents in the industry and that are just by knowing that you have accountability on the other end, like you're participating and growing at a different level. And so we're willing to put in that work and effort and connect you if it's not here in California, Colorado. If you need someone in Texas, in Virginia, I just got a client in Washington, D.C., and it's just like, how can we make those connections for you? So we just go above and beyond what a typical real estate agent will do for you.
I want to be lazy and just say ditto, but I'm
Ditto,
not.
yeah.
I mean, you hit on a lot of the points and reasons I think working with me would be a excellent choice. I would just add that I really see real estate as a service industry. We're not here just to transact a deal. We're actually here to both educate our clients, to be a trusted advisor and guide. It's a very stressful process. There's a lot of details to consider, and I find that I take a lot of personal responsibility for being knowledgeable and an excellent advisor to help my clients make the best decision for themselves and their families. It's a really high honor, and it's aligned with what I did in architecture. What I still do, I'm actually still doing architecture along with my real estate, and it's a service industry as well. I mean, remodeling a home or trying to do a new construction project, it's stressful, and I'm honored to be able to provide a service and help people through that process and be the one that they can lean on and get great advice and great direction so that they can be successful. And I think we have that in common, Claudia. That's right off the bat. I mean, we've talked about that offline, and I'm just really excited to be connected with you. I can't wait to refer clients to you who are moving to the Rocky Mountains to go skiing and hiking. And I'll have to come out to Denver because it's
Yeah, you're gonna have to come visit.
yeah, so I can get some specific knowledge and experience it. So
No,
with
yeah,
that,
I'm excited. Thanks, Ramel. And I got someone in the Bay Area.
absolutely, absolutely. So how can people get in contact with you?
Yeah, we'll drop down below our contact info. Instagram is at Claudia on the go, always on the go. It's just Claudia on
Yes,
the
you
go.
are.
And
Yes.
then phone number 970-380-8372. So I kept my northeastern Colorado zip code when I moved to the Denver metro area. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So my Instagram handle is at Shepherd Rose _, and my phone number is 510-808-6915. We will put all that specific information with emails, our phone numbers, our DRE, all of that pertinent stuff, instead of telling you, because you might not be wanting to write that down right now. So
Yeah.
we'll have that right below in the link.
Our YouTube
Claudia,
channel.
great. Yes. Oh, and of course, our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that and watch us grow and come and learn and get connected. So, Claudia, great talking to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day. I know you're about to get on the go right now to some appointment,
Yeah.
as am I. So we'll see you all very soon. Thank
All
you
right.
again, Claudia.
Thank you all for joining us.